Greetings, everybody. I am the Starving Martian, and it occurs to me that I have not actually spent a lot of time on this channel talking about Mars Attacks, the movie, which is kind of a shame. I started this channel in part to show the internet, to show YouTube that there's more to Mars Attacks than just the movie. So it's natural that I focused on all the trading cards, the comics, the action figures, that sort of thing. But it is the movie that got most of us, myself included, into Mars Attacks in the first place. And despite whatever flaws you might feel it has, it is still an excellent film and still deserves to be well regarded by any and all Mars Attacks fans, in my humble opinion. So, today we're beginning our look at this book here, Mars Attacks, The Art of the Movie. Alright, now first thing I want to say is that this is a large book. I measured it at 11 inches from top to bottom. So, yeah, nearly a foot tall, this book here. Now, compare that to The Art of Space Jam, also a book from a Warner Brothers movie. Yeah. So that's good because when you're getting a book, especially an art book, you want to be able to see all the imagery. You want things to just pop out of the pages. And this book has, as you would suspect, a lot of art from the movie, a lot of pre-production art, a lot of stills of the actors, the scenery, behind-the-scenes stuff. And it also features a lot of hand-drawn art by Tim Burton, director of the film. Now, I like Tim Burton as an artist. I have ever since watching special features of the movie Batman Returns and seeing his drawings of the Penguin and the Penguin as a baby and some of the other things he came up with, his original sketches for Catwoman. The guy's got a definite, he's definitely got a personality that comes through in all of his work. So we'll be able to see his unique take on the Martians as we flip through the pages of this book. And so let's get right down to it. Now, I'm just going to say right now, we're not going to read this book. There's a lot of info in here. If you want to know behind the scenes, you want to know how they made the movie, why they made the movie, when they made the movie, who made the movie, this is the book for you. Track down a copy. Now, we could spend hours just going through all the information you will uncover in here that, the Wikipedia page or whatever else only hints at. And it's a good thing it does because the DVD, the Blu-ray, the video cassette, none of them have really had anything in the way of special features. So if you want to know the making of the movie, this is the best way to go. But again, it's going to take ages to sit here and read all this. Plus, I found one or two minor inaccuracies, mostly in the beginning, talking about the inspiration of Mars Attacks. And I just didn't want to spread any Martian misinformation. So let's just dive into the book proper and see what we've got. So, right off the bat, we have this wonderful picture here. And remember, this is all these single-page imagery that we'll find. This is 11 inches tall. So, nice 8 by 11 picture. If you wanted to razor these out and frame them and hang them on your wall, go right ahead. Buy 2 copies. One to read, one to cut up. Over here you see Mars Attacks, The Art of the Movie by Karen R. Jones. Any relation to Tom Jones, I wonder? Probably not. I think Jones might just be a common enough name. Here's our introduction and a wonderful image of a Martian post Slim Whitman. And another title page. So if you weren't sure that we're reading Mars Attacks, The Art of the Movie, you should have figured it out by now. This is Mars Attacks, The Art of the Movie. Alright, so it starts us off with some production shots, some behind the scenes kind of looking at the directors and And some good cast shots. You know, we did review the Mars Attacks trading card set, and one thing that the trading card set lacked was a lot of shots of the cast. And I don't know if it's because they would have had to pay, you know, image rights or something like that, but they had very few cast members in the cards, which is kind of odd. So here's some good shots of the principal cast doing what they do best. Mars Attacks, the trading cards. So we're going to talk here about some of the inspiration behind the movie. And again, here's an excellent, beautiful 11-inch tall image ripped directly from one of the early cards. And that again would look beautiful mounted on your wall. And it's a good way to show that the Martians in the movie did not stray too far from their trading card roots. So, but before we get to Mars Attacks, we have to get to the Civil War. They wanted to show off some of the inspiration behind Mars Attacks, the sort of artwork that Topps was already doing in its trading cards, with titles like Wall of Corpses and Victims of the War. You can see how these people would go on to do Mars Attacks after this. They also give you some nice shots of pencil designs for some of the Mars Attacks cards. These are ones that were either altered heavily or just not used. And if you've been following me, you've seen these images before in some of the trading cards, the behind the scenes trading cards. But if you don't have those cards, it is nice to have the book here and be able to see some of the inspiration. And we get a good shot of 8 of the original cards. Some of the more well-known ones, more infamous ones like Burning Flesh, Destroying a Dog, Beast and the Beauty, Soldier Fights Back, Crushed to Death, and there's the back of Crushed to Death, so you can see what the back of the cards look like. And then it gets into some of the more modern cards. This is from Mars Attacks Archives, which would have been the only other Mars Attacks card set out at the time that this book was printed. So just a taste of how Mars Attacks has been updated by other artists. And then the covers of a few of the Mars Attacks comic books by Topps. This is where I mentioned some of the misinformation comes in. They claim here that Counter-Strike, the story here, is the first comic book Mars Attack story. They call this a mini-series, which was then launched into a full series, which of course is not true. There was an actual mini-series before this. Counter-Strike was the first story in the ongoing series, which only ran the 7 issues. And then they conclude this section by giving us a look at the 2 novels that came out associated with the Mars Attacks trading cards. I've done a review on these as well. So if you're interested in the novels or the comics or the cards, we've looked at all of them. So just click on my name, Starving Martian. You'll find a few different playlists. There'll be one for Mars Attacks trading cards, one for comics, one for Martian merchandise. And you'll find everything you need in those. There's also one just called Martian Peace Theater. And that's all my Mars Attack stuff all together. So, Chapter 3, the screenplay. Obviously, a screenplay is boring to look at, but we do get some excellent images of Tim Burton's original nightmarish creation here. This is his original idea of what a Martian might look like brought to life on the big screen. And yeah, if you've seen Tim Burton's artwork, this is very Burton-y, but also very well done. Very unique, very distinct. A bit smaller here, but in the corner you see his idea, his image of the reveal of the Martian ambassador. Here's a better full body drawing of him, along with a couple other Martians here. This guy here is some kind of surgeon. This is his surgical equipment. So yeah, do not sign me up for surgery on Mars. And for something that's essentially a quick sketch, I'm impressed by the glitter effect that he got on this Martian robe. I don't know how they did it. Looks like they just took glitter glue and smeared it over there. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Here's another picture of a Martian doctor. His little mask over his face. And here's some of the screenplay. I told you the screenplay was boring. Not to read, but just to look at. It's a screenplay. What do you want? Here's some early artist rendering illustrations of a merciless alien attack on American cities. So yeah, things go boom. And some artist renderings of Mars itself. And you can see the chasm here, the canal, I suppose, where the Martians will come out of. And an interior shot of Martian cities, which is fascinating. You don't really get to see this too often. So here's their idea of cities up on these stalagmites, kind of. Some black and white sketches of the saucers emerging from the interior of Mars. And another Tim Burton drawing, this one of the Martian death ray, which is pretty awesome. And I love the fact that the Martian death ray is essentially just their handgun, like, blown up 120 times. Expanded, not exploded. That kind of blown up. And I love the way the seat comes out of here, like out of the base and comes. This reminds me so much of something out of Dr. Seuss. You can't tell me Tim Burton is not a Dr. Seuss fan. And look at this. You know, let's start with this one here. Saucers again coming out of Mars, heading towards Earth. It's an epic shot. And down here is an early painting by Tim Burton. He does more than just sketches. He does paintings, full paintings. This is an early painting by him. Just look at that. That's again. That is beautiful. That is. Although these rock formations here remind me of coral more than anything else. Like, do you ever have those magic stones? You put them in like the little plastic fish tank and they grow. That's what that looks like to me. Either way, very, very, very nice. Alright, so that only got us 30 pages into the book, and we're out of time already. So we're definitely going to be coming back before too long. Let me slap a bookmark in here so we don't lose our spot. But that is just a taste of the art of Mars attacks. We will be looking at more of it soon. In the meantime, just so you know, I did pick this up on Amazon. It cost me about $5 plus shipping. Prices on this book fluctuate. I've seen it go anywhere from $5 to like $25. So bide your time, wait for a deal, but definitely snatch a copy up if you can, because it's highly recommended for any fan of Mars Attacks the movie or the Mars Attacks franchise as a whole. So we'll catch more of this later, but until then, keep watching the skies.